Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So a lot of people will know what ADHD stands for, and if you don't, it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. So unfortunately I do not have any coffee. Instead of spilling some tea or some coffee, what we're going to actually do is spill some juice on this, and we're going to talk about how exhausting ADHD actually is, and we're going to kind of debunk this myth of us actually having unlimited amounts of energy, because actually that is so not the truth. Like, I wish it was, but it's really not the truth. Stay hydrated, kids. Stay hydrated. So a lot of people assume just because we have hyperactivity in our disorders, the kind of title, people will assume that because it says hyperactivity, so people just, you know, they just assume that we're always hyper. Hyperactivity doesn't always mean we are hyperactivity in like energy. Our mind never shuts off. We are always on the go, but it doesn't mean we are always on the go energy wise. Our brain is always on the go. It's literally turning over new ideas. Our mind is always on the go. And what people do not realise is we are still human. We do have energy, but we only have the same amount as you guys. We are human. We are not robots. We are not aliens. We still need sleep, and we still do not have unlimited amounts of energy. This is where we're going to spill some juice, because actually I'm going to tell you what it actually feels like to have ADHD. Behind the scenes, we are dead. We are honestly exhausted, and the level of ADHD exhaustion is
astronomical.
We have to keep up with our brain and our body. We have to keep up with it, you know. We don't have the energy to keep up with our body all the time, and that is when shit hits the fan. That is when everything just goes poof. Because if we don't keep up with our body and our mind, that is when a chaos happens, mayhem happens. And honestly, it is exhausting. It is honestly exhausting. We do not have unlimited amounts of energy. We don't. And I want to debunk this. We do not have unlimited amounts of energy. We don't, and I wish we did, because it would make our life so much easier to keep up with this and this. But the thing is, we don't. We do not have that amount of energy, and I really do wish we did. And I know a lot of ADHDers would wish that we could. All of the emotions go crazy, and we're in bad moods, temper rise, and everything just goes out the window because we are over exhausted. We are too tired, we put too much pressure on ourselves, and sometimes we just can't do it. It just gets too much. Talking to people is very, very exhausting. Working is very, very exhausting, because the thing is, we put so much pressure on ourselves that we don't give ourselves a break, and those breaks could literally be like life or death, because our mind just doesn't stop. People with ADHD are still human. We don't run off like unlimited amounts of energy. We're not this like Duracell bunny that is just pumped with batteries. We don't do that. No. So when you have ADHD, we try our hardest to kind of hide and mask our differences, and that is super exhausting. Trying to act normal in society is very, very exhausting. We have to try and hide things and mask things. We have to literally put ourselves through hell every day just to be accepted in society, otherwise shit will hit the fan. Things that we do because of our ADHD, because when we become overwhelmed, when we do become exhausted, when we put too much pressure on ourselves, so our actions could lead to us becoming aggressive, we could overreact to the smallest kind of incidences. But because we feel that exhausted, you know, we don't have that much control over our emotions, over how we're feeling, and that exhaustion, like I say, that level is so astronomically high. It's really hard for us to come back down to the normal level of like exhaustion, because our that's like a neurotypical's kind of exhaustion, and this is ours. Ready? Like, it carries on because we are so, you know, we just want to be accepted, so we put pressure on ourselves to kind of just be normal in society. And like I say, socialising, going shopping, going to school, going to college, getting work done, you know, starting projects, all that sort of stuff is very, 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 very exhausting to us. And I know that it is to neurotypicals, people without ADHD, but we have to put 5,000% in, whereas most people only put 10%, 20, 30% into things. But we have to, you know, we have to put that 5,000% in, otherwise it just doesn't work. like it does for neurotypicals. We have to make ourselves be less impulsive, less loud. You know, we have to do so many things to try and be accepted. It's exhausting having ADHD. We don't have this unlimited amount of energy. We don't. It, you know, we may look like we're like bouncing off the walls and we're like, I don't know, as springy as a 2-year-old and as hyper as a toddler. The thing is, it feels like we're like 100 up here because we're just tired. We are just tired. Our mind just doesn't shut off. Our brain just doesn't ever stop. It's always on the go. It is exhausting. It honestly, it's exhausting. The amount of emotions we go through a day, the amount of ideas our brain tries to come up with every day, the amount of impulsiveness we have to kind of push to the back. You know, it's very difficult when you have ADHD, and the name like ADHD, the whole like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that name is just, it doesn't explain how exhausting it is to have ADHD. It almost kind of just says we're hyper, and people take that literally. And hyperactive doesn't mean that we are hyperactive. We could be hypersensitive, hyper-focusing, you know, hypersexual, hyposexual. There's so many different forms of hyperactivity that people just don't realise, and all of these kind of hyper things that we do have, it is exhausting trying to keep up with this, because we just physically can't do it all the time, and the world outside to us is extremely overwhelming, and trying to keep up with, you know, the society norms and the expectations of society is so exhausting. It really is. And I just want people to know that it's okay to take breaks, it's okay to say no, it's okay to relax. You need time to yourself. Take time to yourself. You deserve it. So please, everyone, let's just be kind to people with ADHD. Let's stop the stigma around us being totally energized and bouncing off the walls and buzzed like a Duracell bunny. So if you can, you know, just be kind, courteous, kind of ask people if you know they have ADHD, do you need to take a break? Or don't worry, I'll do that for you. Like, if you could just do that little bit of a thing, you might only think, oh, it's only the washing up. But you know what? That little bit of pressure that we don't have on our shoulder, on our back, can make the world of a difference. So I just want you to know that expectations to be normal, to fit in society, is super exhausting. ADHD is not anything to be taken as a joke, because sometimes the energy level we have is below 0.0, trust me, it's below 0, and it's very hard to get back up. So if you could do anything today for someone with ADHD, just ask them if they need a break, if they need help, and let them just take a break, because honestly, it's so exhausting having ADHD. Thank you, I'll see you next time. Remember to smash me a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. And even in the comments, let me know what you do to relax. What takes your mind off the busyness up there. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.